Hello and welcome to the Anheuser-Busch Beer and Wine Lab. Today we're going to be sabering champagne bottles. I'm going to be going over the technique and also I'm going to be showing you how to open a champagne bottle properly at a professional dinner service. My name is JJ and I'm the lab assistant here at Rosen College in the Beer and Wine Lab. So as you can see in the display, we have two different types of sabers. We have a French saber located below me in front of me, and also we have an Italian style saber. Okay, and also we have different types of champagne glassware, starting from a traditional flute to more a modern style flute, and also we have different style coupe glassware. All right, so let's begin by opening a regular champagne bottle. So I'm going to go over with you step by step on how to do that properly. Now, as you can see, the champagne bottle has a foil over it. Sometimes it has a pull tab or a little ribbon tab that you could pull the top capsule away from it. If not, you could go ahead and use your waiter's key to remove that. So I'm going to go ahead and locate that tab. Let's see here. Okay, so I got a little grip on it. So I'm going to go ahead and place my hand on the neck of the bottle right above the shoulder. So now I'm going to go ahead and hold that firmly while I remove the capsule foil. So I'm going to take the foil and put it in my pocket. I am wearing an apron, so it's like a waiter's apron, bistro style. So now I'm going to go ahead and pull the tab here. I'm going to give it 6.5 turns. With those 6.5 turns, that's going to loosen the wire cage that's holding the cork in place. Now, the next step is very important. I have to place my thumb over it, so I'm just going to move my hand upward, place my thumb, and the reason that I do that is that way when I loosen the cage, the cork doesn't go out flying. All right, so it's always important to take safety measures. I'm going to go ahead and loosen that cage off. Okay, you could do now one of two things. You could remove the cage completely and then place your hand and your thumb over the cork, or you could just keep it where it's at in place. So I'm going to keep it in place. But the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my other hand and grab the bottle there, right above the shoulder. I'm going to move my hand upward and hold firmly and tightly on the cage and cork. So I'm going to give it a nice twist. And now at this point, I feel a lot of pressure. Now, when I show other students and people on not to release your hand while you feel that pressure, the important reason being is a lot of people get startled or they feel it and then they release and then the cork goes out flying with the cage. And that is a very uh, hazardous situation in any event. So we're just going to leave it there. Once you feel that pressure, you're going to slightly keep twisting. And right now, I only have like a 1/4 inch of the cork coming out. It wants to fly out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to tilt it to the side, and all you're going to hear is a nice little sigh. And that's the goal that you want to do when you open a champagne bottle properly. Okay, now the next step. Let me put this over here. And the most fun of all is sabering a champagne bottle. Now, I have my weapon of choice. I'm going to use this one because this is the one that I enjoy the most. And it's a longer blade. The center mass is right in the middle, so I'm not going to use the tip of the blade. I'm going to use the center part because it's the heaviest. Now, I'm going to show you something that this knife here, it is not sharp, so it's okay. Don't be alarmed. I know a lot of students that be like, "Oh my God, what are you doing? You're gonna cut yourself." No, it's dull as a butter knife. Okay, so now in this particular case, what I'm gonna go ahead and do, let me place this back down, and let's get ready to saber the champagne bottle. So I have a paper towel. What I'm going to do is just wipe off the excess moisture or the condensation on the bottle, okay? Because you want a nice firm grip and you don't want your hands to be slippery holding a champagne bottle. It could be a disaster, all right? So now what I'm going to look for in this case is that the bottle is made out of two different molds. So it does have a seam. So there's a seam right along here. I know it's kind of difficult to see, but if you could see it, let me wipe it down a little bit better. It has a seam. So all glass champagne bottles and sparkling wines is made out of two different molds, then it's compressed together, and then it makes one bottle. So now I'm going to go ahead and use the same technique when I open the champagne bottle without sabering. But in this scenario, I'm going to remove the cage. Now, this bottle is cold. So I set it in the refrigerator. That way it could cool down because you don't want to open a warm or room temperature champagne bottle. Why is that? Because when it's warm, all the carbonation that's in the bottle, even if you agitate it a little bit and you take out the cage, um, it's more of a chance that the cork could go flying. Now, if you chill it down, it calms down the CO2 carbonation that's in the bottle. So I already removed the cage. I still have my thumb over it just to make sure. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my saber. Okay. So I'm going to look for that seam again, and I'm still holding it firmly. So I'm just going to go ahead and move it down, hold the base. Okay. Use the champagne bottle pointed away from you and from any other people around the room. So if there's anybody in your point of direction where you're going to saber, you're going to, tell them, please move to the other side, and then you could commence. So I'm going to give it two nice gentle taps. And the taps is more to like get it going. Okay. So I'm going to do one, two. Then at this point, I have the guide of the seam and the blade and where I want to saber it. So one, two. All right, that's what you want. So now at this point, a lot of people always ask me, is it safe to drink? And I always tell them, well, if you're going to pay for a premium champagne bottle and you're going to savor it and you're not going to drink it, then you're wasting like $40, $65. You don't want to do that. It is safe to drink. Why is that? Because the champagne bottle has between 60 to 70 uh, psi, that's pounds per square inch, meaning that the pressure in this bottle is so substantial that it's equal to a Lynx bus tire. Imagine one of those things, you know, popping off in the middle of I-4. It's going to be a loud bang. That's the same thing with the champagne bottle. So the force that it shoots out and the foam that comes out of the bottle, all the glass shards are going to go flying off with that cork. Now, in a second, I'm going to show you the cork. In the champagne bottle, the goal is to get a nice, clean cut. You don't want any shards or anything like that, or for it to look all, jagged. So it's a nice clean cut, and that's, the goal that you want to do. Once I'll get the cork, I'll show you the comparison um, between the uh, the glass that was shot off and then connected to the bottle. So that is pretty much the art of savoring a champagne bottle. So over here, I'm going to show you real quick that this is like pretty much a puzzle piece. So as long as it comes back together nicely and it looks like it's intact, it is a good sabering um, execution. Okay. So I would like to say thank you for joining me. in showing you and demonstrating how to saber and open a champagne bottle properly. Thank you and cheers.